वनचारि जय राघमाधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. So we are nearing the end of the fifth chapter. Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. And today's verses 25 and 26. Read 25 first. Labande Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya China Kalmashaha Chinnadveda Idatmanam Sarvabhuda Hideradaha Labande Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya China Kalmashaha Chinnadveda Idatmanam Sarvabhuda Hideradaha Labande Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya China Kalmashaha Chinnadveda Yadatmanam Sarvabhuda Hiderataha. Yes. Rekha Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Labande Brahma Nirvana Vishayam Shila Kalmashaha Chinnadvaitayata Manaha Sarvabhuta Itarataha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shalini Maharaja, I don't know whether she's having the book. So, Tekamaji can read translation also.
Okay. One who is beyond duality and doubt, whose mind is engaged within, who is always busy working for the welfare of all sentient beings, and who is free from all sin, achieves liberation in the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll read the purport. It's better. Only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead for everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in such first-class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna-conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is a state of divine love. A person engaged only in ministering to physical welfare of the human society cannot factually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle. Hare Krishna, will read the 26. Kama krodha vimuktanam yadinam yada chetasam abhido brahma nirvanam vartade vididatmanam. Kama krodha vimuktanam yadinam yada chetasam abhido brahma nirvanam vartade vididatmanam. Kama krodha vimuktanam yadinam yada chetasam abhido brahma nirvanam vartade vididatmanam. Yes, Renuka Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I didn't read the first.
Yes, you can read the first one also, 25 also.
Labante Brahma Nirvanam Rishaye Shina
Rishaya.
Rishayaha Shina Kalmashaha Chinna Dvaita Yadatmanam Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Kama Krodha Vimuktanam Yatinam Yata Chetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Vididatmanam. Vididatmanam. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Right. Rekha Mataji.
Kama krodha vimuktanam yatinam yata chetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. Hare Krishna.
Right, Renuka Mataji can read the translation.
Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport will read. Of the saintly persons who are constantly engaged in striving towards salvation, one who is in Krishna consciousness is the best of all. The Bhagavatam 4.22.39 confirms this fact as follows. Yad pada pangaja palasa vilasa bhaktiya karmashayam grididam udgadayandi santa tadvan na riktamaneyo yadayo viruddha Srodo ganastam aranam bhaja Vasudevam. Just try to worship in devotion service Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of senses as effectively as those who are engaged in transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, uprooting the deep-grown desire for fruitive activities. In the conditioned soul, desire to enjoy the fruitive results of the work is so deep-rooted that it is very difficult even for the great sages to control such desires despite great endeavors. A devotee of the Lord constantly engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, perfect in self-realization, very quickly attains liberation in the Supreme. Owing to his complete knowledge and self-realization, he always remains in trance. To cite an analogous example of this, Darshana Dhyana Samspashe Malsya Kurma Vihangamaha Swani Abatyani Pushtandi Tadaham Abhipatmajam. By vision, by meditation, and by touch only do the fish, the tortoise, and the birds maintain their offspring. Similarly, do I also, O Patmaja. The fish brings up its offspring simply by looking at them. The tortoise brings up its offspring simply by meditation. The eggs of the tortoise are laid on land, and the tortoise meditates on eggs while in the water. Similarly, devoting Krishna consciousness, although far away from Lord's abode, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly, by engagement in Krishna consciousness. He does not feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nirvana, or the essence of material miseries due to, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in Supreme. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Saganaragunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam P. Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalidam P. Vishagan Vidamstam E Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Goviga Kanda Radha Kamdam Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhan Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubescha Kriva Sindhuviyevacha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Labande Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya Kshina Kalmashaha Chinnadveda Yadatmanaha Sarvabhuda Hideraha. Those who are beyond dualities rise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. So, these verses starting from 20, verse 20. Na prashet priyam prapya no dijet prapya cha priyam sthira buddhi asammudho brahmavid brahmanistida. Starting from that to this verse, up to this 26th verse, is this describing the qualities of a person who has realized himself through Krishna consciousness. So many qualities are described. Main thing is he is not interested in the material happiness or material pleasures. He is not attracted by the material pleasures. That is the first symptom or the first step towards spiritualism. One who is going to realize himself, he should control. He should now be attracted by the material glitters. He is always unattached. Bahyaspasha Shaktatma. Why is not interested in material pleasures? Because he is deriving a lot of pressure from inside, from his position as a servant of Krishna. He is deriving a lot of pressure. He is totally convinced about this one. He is absolutely convinced of his position, of his rupa. There is no doubt left. That is here given Chinna Dveda. Chinna Dveda. Dvaita means doubts. Dvaita, why doubt? Because you are not sure of this, whether this is good, this is right or that is right. In the two options we given, we don't know whether which is right, which is wrong. Dvaita is always there. Dvaita means duality, which gives rise to doubts. But person Krishna consciousness has got no doubts at all. He's completely convinced about the supremacy of Krishna. Because we are looking at the goal. We are looking at the goal and our goal is Krishna. Because we are convinced that Krishna is supreme through scriptures, through saints, through spiritual masters. And under their guidance, we are doing our sadhaka. And even while doing the sadhaka, our conviction is getting stronger and stronger day by day. Although material pangs are still there, but there is no doubt. We are absolutely convinced about our process. That what we are seeking is the right path. What we are treading is the right path. And why there is no doubt? Why doubts are getting cleared? Because Shina Kalmashaha, getting free from sins. What basically happens is that when you start that Krishna conscious life, you are away from this you are strictly following the four regulatory principles of no meat eating, no intoxicants, no gambling, and no illicit sex, which are the prominent sinful activities in this yuga. Kali Yuga, these are prohibited. That's why in Parishad Maharaja, when he is chastising the Kali Purusha, he was about to kill Kali Purusha. He had drawn out his sword and about to kill him. Then Kali Purusha fell at his feet and said that, please spare my life. Because this yuga is my yuga only. I have to come and I have to do my nonsense here. But when you are here, I cannot reside anywhere here. No place is safe for me. Because you'll exhort me out and then you'll kill me. So I surrender to you. Please spare my life and allow me to reside in some places so that I can safely proceed with my duty or dautya. So Parishad Maharaj allows him 4 places. One is a brothel. Second is liquor shop. Third is a butcher shop. And fourth is gambling place. So these 4 places are allotted to him. So Kali Purusha resides in these places. So if you want to be free from Kali, influence of Kali, then you have to stay away from these places. Namely the butcher shop, the bars, intoxicating nightclubs, bars and all that, and the gambling place and the brothels. So Krishna conscious person, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, the ISKCON devotees are following that. And they are seriously engaged in association of devotees, reading books, chanting, and eating prasadam. And slowly, when you continue with this life, you are not doing any sinful activities. Your sinful activities, you stop all the sinful activities. And because you are chanting continuously and doing devotional service, your past sinful activities, reactions to sinful activities are getting diminished. And as and when these sinful reactions or sinful reactions are getting diminished, you're getting more and more pure. And ultimately, at the last stage, when you become very pure, that means when you are coming out of these gunas, which is making you do all this nonsense. Although still maybe in the grip of gunas, may not completely come out of this. Still, when you are pure, free from all the sinful reactions, then you are more and more convinced about the superiority or supremacy of Krishna. And that person that get labande brahma nirvanam. And then he is very close proximity to brahma nirvana. Brahma nirvana means realizing the self. Brahma nirvana word is used many times in Bhagavad Gita. In last verse of 72nd verse of second chapter, last verse of second chapter, that verse 72, that is used. And many acharyas given different meanings. So Brahma Nirvana basically, for Nirvana basically used by these Buddhas or Bauddhas or Buddhists. According to Nirvana means merging into a void. Everything is void according to them. And for Shankaracharya and all that, Nirvana means merging into Brahma Jyoti. For devotees, Vaishnavas, Brahma Nirvana means associating the Supreme Brahman. Brahma Nirvana is Ananda Rupa of Krishna. And when you are finally getting vision of this Brahma Ananda Swarupa of Krishna, then you are getting into close proximity to Krishna and then rendering direct service to him.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, Brahma Nirvana is for impersonalities. Impersonalities is merging into Vayada.
Yeah, impersonalists, Brahma Nirvana used by impersonalists, Buddhists, and Vaishnavas, so it's given Bhagavad Gita. So Vaishnavas also, but all in different meanings. According to impersonalists, Brahma Nirvana means merging into the Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is effulgence, bodily effulgence of Krishna. That is actually the glow of effulgence which is emanating from the toenails of Krishna. And that is given Purana. And actually, the Brahma Jyoti is surrounding this Golok, the Vaikuntha planets. This is the border, just on the border of this surrounding this Vaikuntha planets, and all the material planets is actually lying inside the Brahma Jyoti only.
Like sun rays.
Huh?
Like sun rays.
Yeah, sun rays. Yeah, can get sun rays. So, Nirvana is, in this context, is a person who has realized himself, can say. One who has realized himself. And because of that, he has completely exhausted his sinful reactions. He has no doubts. And that person, once he has realized himself, he is very interested in welfare of others. Sarva Buddha Hideradaha. Sarva Buddha is an interest. Sarva Buddha. Sarva Buddha means all living entities. It is not like that you are interested in the welfare of human beings only. Normally, in philanthropic activities, we find people running so many engage in various activities, ministering to the physical necessities of the people, opening of hospitals, orphanages, old age homes, education institutions, hospitals. So many things are opening. There are other people also who are very much interested in protecting the animals also. But these are basically based on their physical requirements, physical comforts. Now, Sarva Buddha Hide Rada means Sarva Buddha Hide Rada means the Vaishnava is interested in the ultimate welfare of all the living entities, whether they are residing in the body of an ant now, or they are residing in the body of a Devendra, the king of Devas. Because of their respective karmas, they have got different bodies. Whether they are residing in the body of a Devendra or they are residing in the body of an ant, their position is ultimately same because they are all in the material world and passing through so many phases. Externally, it may appear for people on material, we can say a very person is enjoying open life in the material world, and one person suffering materially. Looks like extremes. Ultimately, both are in this material sphere. So the real Vaishnava knows that actually these are bodies are material. That's why there is a Vidya Vinaya Sambanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni cheva shabage cha pandidaha samadarshina. Whichever body you are residing, actually your soul, soul is because of soul only these bodies are getting activated. Bodies are moving now because of this presence of soul only. The soul is trapped in these bodies. Whatever bodies you get in this material universes is not fit for the soul. He is not in his home ground. He is an alien atmosphere, like a fish out of water. So Vaishnav knows that the real help that you can do to a living entity is to take him out of this bondage and connect him to Krishna, so that gradually he can realize himself, realize his position. So such a person, Vaishnava, is always interested in the welfare of all the living entities, Sarva Bhuta Hide, so interest of all living entities. And like next verse, this Kama Krodha Vimuktanam Yatinam Yata Chetasam Abhido Brahma Nirvanam Vartade Vididatmanam. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly enduring for perfection, are assured of liberation of the Supreme in the very near future. So 23 verse also we have seen that Shaknodi Heva Yasodam Prak Sharira Vimokshana Kama Krodhol Bhavam Vegam Sayukta Sasukhi Nara. So the first step is controlling their senses. Anyone who wants to advance spiritually, first of all, should control his senses most effectively. So many processes are there. The yogis are there. The jnanis are there. Kama yogis are there. Hatanga, Ashtanga yogis are there. Everyone is very seriously engaged in curbing the instincts for sense enjoyment. Instincts, which is actually vasana. These are what is an impetus which drives you to do these sinful activities. Nunam pramatha kuride vikarma. Nunam pramatha kuride vikarma. Because of the pramatha, because you are totally taken in, bewildered, totally swayed by the attractions of material world. He develops an intense desire, intense greed to enjoy this. And because of that, he does so many sinful activities. So a serious spiritualist knows that this is a point. This is where we have to be very careful. We have to first of all curb this instinct for sense enjoyment, which is there from time immemorial with us. Only that person who can effectively control it can actually progress nicely. Of course, by reading Shastras, understanding the difference between body and soul, what is the material world, what spiritual world, all those things, the jnana, the knowledge gives you that you are unnecessarily doing this, indulging in sense gratification, but that is not enough. Because this is desire only, strong desire. Desire comes from the soul only. But unfortunately, now it is what you call camouflaged, or can say it is colored by this gunas. This one. Because of that, you are enjoying in the material sphere. So you cannot curb this desire. Desire is very natural. Because of desire only generates this action. Satya Kama, Satya Sankalpa is actually the real position of the soul, which is given by Chandogya Upanishad. Satya Kama and Satya Sankalpa is there, desire is there. Because of desire only activity is coming. Now the desire is not spiritual desires because of its material desires only, but that cannot be controlled simply by reading books endlessly. Because these activities have to be dovetailed to devotional activities. That's why Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, a very nice verse in the 4th chapter, 4th canto, verse 20, chapter 22. 22 is where it is describing 4th chapter. Basically, is this describing activities of Prithvi Maharaj. I mean, middle portions of 4 chapters, 4th canto. Prithvi Maharaj is an expansion, a plenary expansion of Krishna. So he came after Vena was his father, was very demonic person. He was against Vedas, he was against Yajnas, he was against Brahmanas. So he did some very sinful, dreadful acts. And finally, the Brahmanas finished him off. They cursed him and he died. And then they crafted, and they just tore the body of Veda, and from that body came Prithvi Maharaj. And Prithvi Maharaj ruled the country very nicely, according to Vedic principles. And he conducted so many yajnas also. And he had very good association with very saintly persons, very prominent saintly persons. One of the very prominent saintly persons, Kumaras, 4 Kumaras, the first sons of Brahma. They are figuring the list of the 12 Mahajans. Sanaka, Sanadana, Sananda, Sanat Kumara. The 4 sons, Sanaka, Sanadana, Sanat Kumara. So they are very, very learned persons and self-realized, and our age is always only 4 years because they don't want to grow up from above the 4 years. Many of these Upanishads, Sri Upanishads, Sammadas between Narada and Sanat Kumara, you'll find as Chandogya Upanishad is one of these Upanishads. So Prithvi Maharaj was very happy when Kumaras came to his court, and then he had a very nice discussion with Kumaras. And in the verses recited by Sant Kumara, this verse 39 is there. Yat pada pangaja palasa vilasa bhaktiya karmashyam gradidam udgadayandi sanda. Karmashyam gradidam udgadayandi sanda. It's a deep rooted. Karmashyam gradidam means very deep rooted. Deep rooted into your consciousness, deeply rooted desires because of over so many births. It is deep rooted only, cannot be removed just like that. Very difficult to eradicate this or uproot this. But it is very easily done by persons who are attached to lotus feet of Krishna. Yat pada pangaja palasa vilasha bhaktiya. Palasha vilasa bhaktiya. One who is totally immersed, attached to a lotus feet of Krishna, rendering service to Krishna's lotus feet. That person can easily control his senses, rather than person tadvanna riktamadayo yadayo viruddha. Other persons who have no devotion, who is against the form of Krishna, though they may be enduring very hard, they are not able to control the senses as effectively, as easily, and as smoothly as the devotees. So therefore, my dear king, you just bhaja Vasudeva. Render devotion service to Vasudeva only, Vasudeva Krishna. So this is the position of the devotees. It is so unique. The position of devotees is very, very unique. It is not that easily ascertained or understood by others, or even devotees themselves. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, where there's a very nice passage in the Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes the qualities of Bhakta to Sanatana Goswami. He says, within this universe, there are two types of living entities, Stavara and Jangama. Stavara means stationary, Jangama means mobile, moving. Stationary means plants, trees, stones, etc. are stationary, but they are living entities. Chitkana, the soul is innumerable, and these chitkanas, chit means absolute consciousness, supreme consciousness, and the kana means a portion of a supreme consciousness is entering all this. So Sama, Stavara, stationary, and then Jangama. Jangama basically divided into three. That is birds, aquatics, and animals. Birds, aquatics, and animals. So among these animals, or among these Jangama, the number of human beings is very, very low. Alpataram. Alpataram is very small, very small. If you look at this 84 lakh species, only 4 lakh species is human beings only. Others are all other forms. Some 9 lakhs are there in aquatics, 11 lakhs reptiles, 30 lakhs birds, 10 lakhs birds, 20 lakhs trees, and 30 lakhs animals. So 80 lakhs are species other than human beings. Only 4 lakhs is human beings. And that human beings includes even devas or everything. Apsaras, Gandharvas. They're all classified in this 4 lakhs human species. So the number is very low. And among these species also, there are so many uncultured divisions, so many things, Mnechas, Pulinda Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Andhra. So there are 9 types of 9 groups which are outside Varnashama system. Varnashama system is considered most cultured, most civilized group, including Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. The Varnashama system, which is created by Krishna, is a civilized sector. The uncivilized is other groups outside this Varnashama, and their number is much more. Much, much more. So the culture, the civilized persons are less. And these people are following Vedas. And among the persons who are following Vedas, there are Dharmachara and Adharmachara. Adharma means they are namesake, they are following Vedas, but actually they are more interested in sense gratification, doing sinful activities on the strength of, adopting to Vedic life. So that number is large. And the second group is Dharmacharis. who is seriously adopting the Vedic life. And among these dharmacharis, the great number is karma yogis, doing auspicious activities, going up and down the heavenly planets, and this one. And then among this karma yoga, the karma is the karma nishta, seriously following this nishkama karma yoga. And among these lakhs and lakhs of karma yogis, you'll find only jnana nishta, jnanis, who is following the, you can say the jnana marga. And among them, one who has realized himself is jnana nishta. Among the jnanis, not all jnanis are going to get liberated. Only few get liberated, and their jnana nishtas, and their number is very low. And among the crores of jnana nishtas, you will find only one person who is completely Narayana Parana. One is taught is, pure devotee. So the pure devotee is very, very rare. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Adeva Shanda Bhukti Mukti Siddhakami Sagale Ashanta. Because they are only Krishna devotee is very peaceful because they have no desire other than serve Krishna. No desires, no vested interest at all. But Bhukti, Mukti, and Siddhakami, though they are also, Bhukti, of course, one who is enjoyer. Mukti means one who is seeking after liberation. Siddhi means Ashtasiddhis, people after Siddhis. Actually, they are material only. Because it is coming into the external energy of Krishna. They are trying to manipulate this external energy and they're trying to achieve something out of this. And because they are straining so much, they are not very peaceful. Only the Krishna devotee is peaceful because he's so attached to Krishna. And so there's a very warm relationship, very sweet relationship between Krishna and his devotees. So that is given in this verse. Darshana dhyana samsparshe malsya kurma vihangamaha swani abatyani pushnandi tadaham abhivatmaja. This was from Padma Purana. Devotees, although they may not be in touch and not on the same planet of Krishna, even though they may be residing in different planets, still by constantly remembering Krishna, they are getting association of Krishna. Same way, Krishna is always thinking about his devotees. As Krishna personally says to Brahma, Padmadaham Abhibrahmaja. Padmaja means Brahma. So Krishna is telling Brahma that I am also only thinking of my devotees only. So in 9th chapter, you find that devotees are always constantly thinking of Krishna, and Krishna is always thinking of devotees only. That is our 9th chapter, you find. Ambarish Maharaj, this one you find this. Lord Vishnu is telling Durvasa Muni, he says, Sadho Hridayam Mahyam, Sadhunam Hridayam Kyuham, Madanyat Tena Jananti, Naham Tebhyo Manakavi. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. So this is the relationship with Krishna and his devotees. And one who is seriously treating the path of Krishna consciousness, ultimately he is assured of a place in Golok Vrindavan. He will be associated with Krishna. So we all strive for that. And for that, the best method is to chant Hare Krishna constantly as long as possible, as maximum number of times, in spite of your maybe other engagements, material engagements also for everyone. But try to do the material engagements very efficiently. The devotee who is very, very attached to Krishna is very materially efficient. You have to manage the material. Everybody wants to manage the material things. So devotee is totally detached matter. So that is why he's able to manage this material things very efficiently. He does it within little time. Then he gets more time for spiritual consciousness. I mean, developing the spiritual consciousness. Chanting, find more time for chanting. And if you're able to do that, definitely you'll get attached to Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So any clarification you need, any doubts? Renuka Mataji was speaking something.
No. What did you say? Sorry, the name of the Kumaras?
Sanaka, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, Sanatta. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, Sanatta. Sanat.
Sanal Kumar.
Sanat Kumar. Sanaga, Sanadana, Sananda, Sanat.
Thank you.
Rekha Mataji, you can.
Okay, Prabhu. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Ladadaine Hiranyakashe Korvakshaha Silatanganagalaye Hito Nasimha Parato Nasimho Yato yato yamitato nasimha Vahe nasimho hridaye nasimho Narasimham madin sharanam prapade Tavakara kamalavare nakam Albuda shingam Dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Vikna Vinasham Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Vikna Vinasham Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Ukram Veeram Mahavishtum Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Namamam Ugram Vikram Mahavishtum Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Namamam Ukram Veeram Mahavishtum Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Namamam Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa
Shuddha Bhakti Vinashagari Shri Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki
Jai
Vancha Kalpadrubhescha Kripa Sindhu
Paritana Pavanabhi Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha
Ananda Godi Vaishnavavrinda ki
Jai
Namacharya Das Thakur ki
Jai
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Saturday, right? And that's Saturday, the last verses. And next Saturday we'll have that Pendatharan.